Members, if I may have your attention for just one moment, please. We have a very special introduction. The chair recognizes Representative Chatfield.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I appreciate the opportunity, colleagues, if I may have your attention, to introduce a very special guest I have with me here in Lansing, a truly remarkable constituent of mine who has contributed immensely not just to the betterment of our state, but this very institution in which we serve. It's my honor to have the Honorable Mr. Thomas Brennan with us here today. And before I give him a tribute, recognizing his many accomplishments in our state, I'd like to give you a little background of his life. He was born actually in Detroit in 1929 and has been a lifelong Michigan resident. My favorite story is when he was 26 years old in 1955, he ran for the 12th congressional seat against another person in his 20s who was 29. That congressman is John Dingell. And that's my favorite story to hear him tell of that congressional race. But I think that he had bigger plans in mind, because it was only 11 years later, in 1966, at the age of 37, he was elected to the Michigan Supreme Court, where 3 years later he became the youngest Chief Justice of the Michigan Supreme Court in Michigan's history, a record that still stands today. And actually, he was the last Chief Justice to reside over the court when they still served in this very Capitol building that we are in. Well, in 1972, 3 years later, he became the founder of Thomas M. Cooley Law School, a law school that has impacted thousands of attorneys across our country, and even our very own Speaker of the House, Mr. Kevin Cotter. Unable to join him today is his wife, Pauline, of 63 years. But Mr. Brennan and his wife both reside in Harbor Springs, where he continues to contribute to the political process, and even last year authored a book regarding Convention of the States and Article 5. So he speaks the language very close to my heart. But I do consider it an honor and a privilege, Mr. Speaker, to have the opportunity to represent and to introduce to this legislative body such a decorated individual and someone who has contributed immensely to our state and this very institution. So I would ask you, Mr. Speaker, and my colleagues to help me in welcoming him here, but also I have a tribute that commemorates 45 years since he has been Chief Justice of the Michigan Supreme Court. Help me in recognizing Mr. Thomas Brennan.
Chief Justice Brennan, welcome to the floor of the House of Representatives.